Hello, Josie here. Are you ready for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And are you sure? Okay, here we go. You know, Jesus did not shame the prostitute. May not have agreed with what she was doing, but hey, it's her life. It was her choice. And the thing was, there were other people that were looking at this prostitute and shaming her. And God said, let the first one of you throw stones that has not sinned. You know? And none of them could do it because they'd all sinned. So my thing is, okay, and I might be quoting that wrong, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. People will shame other people for their choices and their actions in their life, but never look at themselves and see where it is that they're sinning or where it is that they're doing wrong in their lives. They love to point the fucking finger at other people. They love to talk about other people. They even will go as far as to lie on other people, just so that people will look at somebody else and not look at them. And just so they can look at somebody else and talk about somebody else and focus on somebody else instead of focusing on themselves. And it's not until God says, how dare you judge my child for what they're doing in their life, and they're not doing anything wrong. But you yourself are doing all sorts of wrong, and you're not seeing where you need to correct your actions and your behaviors, because you're going to be judged by God. So, meanwhile, while you and the neighbors and your friends and everybody that you gathered to look at this individual and call shame on them and call them out for what they're not doing anything wrong. I don't have anything to judge them negatively on. I have good things to say about this one. But you? Oh goodness, let's talk about you. You've done this, and you did this, and you did this, you enacted this, you behaved like this, you called this person out of their name, you said this about this person which was not true. He could go on with some of these people. And all of these individuals were ones that threw rocks and hid their fucking hands and acted as if they were not guilty. Acted as if they did nothing. And God saw everything. God was standing in the back. He was looking from afar and saw people throwing rocks and hiding their hands at his children. And he called us to do certain things that others would not be qualified to do. That's another thing. People throwing judgment at people for certain actions and behaviors, but they don't know the whole fucking story. They don't know what's going on. They're speculating and they're conjuring just so that they have a story that sounds believable and credible and makes someone else feel shamed. I'm speaking on this because when I tell you, I was dating a guy. I dated this guy for about a year. And he would come over usually every Friday. Almost every Friday. Right? And when I tell you that I had people across the street, outside, doing their thing, acting as if they weren't trying to listen in to what we had going on over here, and talking shit, and then saying that I was a whore, I was a prostitute, which I was never. Although if I was a whore, if I was a prostitute, that's my business. It's not affecting them. But because they want to have something negative to say about me, because they're insecure or jealous or envious of me, they have to conjure up lies. You gotta be careful about talking about other people, because you don't know who they belong to, and you also don't know if God has sent them out on a mission to do something, which is none of your business. That individual that I was dating, that I was seeing, let me explain something to you about that individual right quick. I'm a Let me explain something to you about this individual. This individual was on a website that was getting very dangerous. A lot of individuals on that website that I was on for a period of time, the individuals that were on there were engaging in some dangerous behaviors and dangerous activities. I'm talking about if you hook up with the wrong individual, you could get sucked in to going down a rabbit hole and or in a downward spiral as far as drugs and sex and risky behavior, which would eventually wind up getting you an STD or a disease that was incurable. Now, nowadays, you have a lot of people, they feel, oh, I can go to the doctor, I can get a pill, I can get a prescription or whatever, and I can curb or whatever. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. There are other things that are attached with these diseases, incurable or curable, that you will have a hard time getting rid of. How about demons? How about sexually transmitted demons? How about attachments that can drain and deplenish you? What about individuals that could set you up to be robbed or set you up to be attacked or set you up to be raped? So God was having me to deal with some of these individuals to get them away from that website as well as away from that lifestyle, because once you get started, it's hard to stop. And I'm not talking about in a good way. It sucks you in, and it will not let go until it depletes you dry, till it sucks you dry, until it kills you. So I was, in a way, being used to not necessarily hook up with these guys, but just to have a conversation with them. Because do you know, 9 times out of 10, a lot of these men just want attention. It's not even about sex. They want somebody to listen to them. They want somebody to talk to them. They want somebody to find them attractive, and not only attractive because of the money that they have in their pocket or what they can give. They're looking for authenticity and genuine interest in them, which is what I gave them, authentically. And you have people that are on these websites that are just looking to drain and suck men as well as women out of their energy, their life source, as well as their resources. I was hope. A lot of these individuals we didn't even meet up. We just talked. They did not even engage in any kind of sexual contact with me. We just talked, and they were actually either in a relationship or married. I was helping these individuals. And some of these people, I was actually testing them. God had me to test these people, to see how they were going to act, how they were going to treat me, what they were engaged in. And a lot of them received God's wrath for their behavior against me and or against other individuals. It's not just me out there. I'm not the only one. We are a test for a lot of people in this world as to how they're going to treat us, if they're going to do us dirty or if they're going to do us right. And God is watching from a distance. And then you have people next door to you, across the street from you, in your community, telling lies about you, believing lies that are said about you, all because of someone, one person, or a few individuals that have an issue or a problem with you because of who you are. And a lot of these people, they know who you are. They didn't know who you belong to. So they thought that they could play games with your name, play games with your reputation, play games with your livelihood, because they felt as if they didn't have it like we did. And they don't. But if they worked on themselves, as well as have a relationship with God, and ask God to use them and help them, A lot of these people don't want to be used, not the way that I was used. They want the favor, they want the blessings, they want the gifts, and they want the talents and the skills, but they don't want to do the work. They just want to have it handed to them so that they can go out in the world and flaunt and show off, hey, I got it, I got this, look at me, look at me. And we're the type of individuals, I'm the type of individual that is behind the scenes. I'm the type of individual that is not out in the streets. I'm the type of individual that is taking care of home and self and health and doing what God is calling me and asking me to do, even if I don't really want to do it. There was many a times I was on that site, I didn't want to be on that site anymore, and God had me to go back to that site because he had something for me to do. Someone that needed to talk to me, somebody that needed an ear, someone that needed some attention, someone that needed to have some kindness shown to them, authentically without wanting anything in return. They needed that hope. I'm so sick and tired of people that want to do this shit against other people that are good, have good hearts. They want them to look like shit in the eyes of other people, and they're hurting other people. Because it's us that God is using to minister to these people, to talk to these people. And because our names were sullied, our names were disparaged by people that were jealous or envious or hateful of us, these people miss out because they chose to believe the lies. That's not on me. That's on them and the people that told the lies. Everybody's going to get paid for what they did, for what they said, for what they did, including me. Good consequences, but there are also some bad consequences.